This guy has been fighting for minimum wage for 2,719 years, but Singapore still doesn't have minimum wage. Here's why, and maybe after this, you will not want that too, So, minimum wage on paper sounds super good, and can win many votes, Basically, minimum wage is like a law whereby you die must pay a certain amount for any job. For example, if there's a minimum wage of $7 per hour, then Goody Feet cannot just ask me to come down here and do this video for $6 per hour. Very simple, right? If Goody Feet still pay me $6 an hour, then I can complain and the company will close down and everyone in Singapore will be happy. Anyways, don't worry, I'm not paid by money but by exposure. So I'm actually very happy about it. My email is good. Actually, Singapore is kind of doing that, but also not doing that. Now, before that, let's address the cat in the room. Why is there no minimum wage? One of the reasons is this: it might cause unemployment. Let me use me as an example. Now that there's no minimum wage in Singapore, Goody Feet is paying me 50 cents an hour. So in a day, I can earn $4 Then Goody Feet can engage more people like Sang Then got more people work and we all live happily ever after I believe I can fly. But if there's a minimum wage of $7 per hour, then Goody Feet can only engage Sang for the entire company.
They ask you how you are, you just...
Hey, actually not bad. I hate that bullet. One of the key consequences is that more people will be jobless. So, without minimum wage, everything will be determined by market forces. Like if Goody Feet really pay me 50 cents an hour, then no one will work Bodoh they should just pay with exposure instead, right? Just think about it, if all of a sudden a minimum wage is imposed, the consequences could be that there will be other workers who will lose their jobs. Workers' pay might decrease, and worst of all, everyone will be paying just a minimum wage since it's the benchmark. If you think businesses won't abuse the system or use it as a justification, just look at how businesses have suddenly filled their mess when GST increased by 1%. But Singapore might not have minimum wage, but we have what is known as the progressive wage model, which was introduced in 2012. This one is pretty cheap and can have a video of its own, so I just briefly give you a summary. It's kind of like minimum wage, but customized for certain sectors. Just think of the minimum wage model as a char kway teow store. For that, you can't do anything, and you either just buy the char kway teow or you don't. The progressive wage model is kind of like a chai ban store. You can choose your own dishes, so the authorities can customize each sector instead of having a broad system. For now, the PWM is in 7 industries, namely the hospitality and consumer business, hotel, retail and food services sectors, building and facility management, cleaning, security and landscape sectors, transport and logistics, healthcare, education, marine engineering, and OPEC. The minimum wage for each industry or job is different, therefore it's not fixed. Now, a progressive wage model isn't minimum wage because number one, it's not a law but it's still compulsory, and number two, it's to upgrade workers' skills so they can be paid more. Now, you might have heard complaints that Singapore is one of the few countries with no minimum wage, but that's actually a misconception. In fact, some of the richest countries in the world has no minimum wage, like Switzerland and Norway. The reasons why we think many countries have it is that the US has it, and they keep on talking about raising it. If you want to know more, you can download our app. Soon I will appear there as well. Now, if you think I've learned something, consider subscribing and also watch this video to be slightly smarter.